The pregnancy test slipped from my trembling fingers and clattered against the bathroom sink. 2 pink lines. Bold. Unmistakable. Mocking. I was pregnant with my best friend's baby. And he'd gotten married 3 days ago. My phone buzzed for the 42nd time today. Miho's name flashed across the screen. I couldn't answer. What would I even say? Congratulations on your wedding, by the way. Remember that night 6 weeks ago when you kissed me like I was oxygen and you were drowning? Yeah, about that. I let it ring out to voicemail. This wasn't supposed to happen. None of it. Let me back up. 2 months ago, I stood in the corner of Miho's engagement party, nursing cheap champagne and watching my best friend pretend to be happy. Everyone else saw the perfect couple. Miho, the golden boy destined to take over his family's corporation, and Yuna, the pristine daughter of old money with a smile that never quite reached her eyes. But I'd known Miho since we were college freshmen pulling all-nighters in the library. I knew his real smile. The one that crinkled the corners of his eyes and made his whole face light up like sunrise. He wasn't wearing that smile at his own engagement party. After the guests left and the caterers packed up, I found him on the balcony. His tie hung loose around his neck, jacket discarded, hands gripping the railing like it was the only thing keeping him upright. You okay? I asked quietly. He didn't turn around. I don't love her. The words hung in the cool night air between us. Heavy. Dangerous. Then why are you doing this? My voice came out steadier than I felt. Because I'm a coward. He finally looked at me and something in his expression made my breath catch. Desperate. Because I can't have what I really want. Miho. Do you know how long I've wanted you, Jiho? He stepped closer. How many times I've almost told you. But you're my best friend. My safe place. If I ruined that, if you didn't feel the same way, I'd lose the only real thing in my life. My heart hammered against my ribs. You never said anything. I'm saying it now. Another step. We were close enough that I could smell his cologne, see the gold flecks in his brown eyes. I'm getting married in 3 weeks to someone my parents chose. Someone appropriate. Someone who fits. And after that, I'll never get another chance to tell you that I've been in love with you for 4 years. For years. Since the night you stayed up with me when my grandmother died. You didn't say anything profound. You just stayed. Made terrible instant ramen at 3 a.m. and let me cry on your shoulder. I knew then. My vision blurred. You can't tell me this now. Not when. I know. I know it's selfish and cruel and 3 weeks too late. But I can't marry her without you knowing the truth. He reached up, fingers ghosting along my jaw. Every nerve ending in my body sparked to life. Tell me to stop, he whispered. Tell me you don't feel it too, and I'll walk away. I'll marry Yuna and we'll pretend this conversation never happened. I should have told him to stop. Should have been the rational one. Should have protected us both from the inevitable heartbreak. Instead, I grabbed his shirt and pulled him down to meet my lips. He tasted like champagne and regret and everything I'd secretly wanted since the day we met. His hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer, kissing me like he was trying to memorize the shape of my mouth, the sound of my breath. We shouldn't, I gasped between kisses. I know. He pressed his forehead against mine. But I need this. Just tonight. Just once. Please, Jiho. We ended up at my apartment. Hands everywhere. Clothes scattered. Every touch felt like goodbye written on my skin. Every kiss tasted like a future we'd never have. I memorized everything. The way he whispered my name like a prayer, the feel of his heartbeat against mine, the warmth of his arms around me in the dark. When I woke up the next morning, the bed beside me was cold. On my nightstand sat a note in his familiar handwriting. I'm sorry. The wedding is in 3 weeks. I can't drag you into this mess. Please forgive me. That was 8 weeks ago. Now I stood in my bathroom, staring at a positive pregnancy test and 17 missed calls from the man who'd chosen duty over me. I tried calling him back. His assistant answered, professional and clipped. Mr. Kim left for New York yesterday. The headquarters merger. He'll be gone indefinitely. Can you give him a message? Of course. Tell him Jiho called. I'll let him know if I hear from him. Though between you and me, international projects like this typically mean radio silence for months. I'll make a note for when he returns. If he returns. I slid down to the bathroom floor, arms wrapped around my knees, test still clutched in my hand. Miho was gone. Married. Unreachable. And I was pregnant. The choice crystallized in my mind with painful clarity. I couldn't be the scandal that destroyed his perfect life. Couldn't be the mistress with the inconvenient baby who ruined everything his family built. I loved him too much to trap him. So I'd disappear. Change my number. Move cities. Build a life where no one knew my secret. I'd protect him the only way I knew how, by letting him go completely. I placed one hand over my still flat stomach and whispered to the tiny life growing inside me, "It's just you and me now. But I promise I'll love you enough for both of us." I had no idea that 4.5 years later, Miho would walk through my bakery door and shatter the careful lie I'd built. "Appa, I don't feel good." I pressed my palm against Jaiwoo's forehead and bit back a curse. "Fever. Of course, today of all days. Okay, baby. You're staying home from preschool." I kissed his warm cheek. "Want to come to the bakery with me? You can rest in the back office." His little face brightened despite the flush. "Can I bring Mr. Rex?" "You can bring the whole dinosaur family." 4.5 years. That's how long I'd been both mother and father to the most perfect child in existence. Ju had Miho's eyes, warm brown with those little gold flecks that caught the light, and my stubborn chin. Every time I looked at him, I saw the ghost of what could have been. But we were happy. My little bakery in Busan thrived. Jaiwoo was healthy and bright and so full of love it sometimes overwhelmed me. We had a tiny apartment that felt like home and neighbors who looked after us. We didn't need anything else. That's what I told myself, anyway. My friend Sora had called last week, voice tight with warning. Corporates sending the new regional director to inspect local businesses. Jiho, he's ruthless. Closed 15 places last quarter. Make sure your books are perfect. I wasn't worried. My accounts were clean, my customers loyal, my pastries consistently good. Whatever corporate drone showed up would find nothing wrong. I settled Jaiwoo in the back office with his dinosaurs, cartoons playing softly on my tablet, juice box within reach. He looked so small curled up on the old couch, Mr. Rex tucked under his chin. "Sleep if you can, sweetheart. I'll check on you every few minutes." "Love you, Appa." "Love you more." I had exactly 3 minutes of peace before the front bell chimed at 9 a.m. sharp. "Welcome to Sweet Haven." "I'll be right." The words died in my throat. Miho stood in my doorway. 5 years vanished in a heartbeat. He looked different. Sharper suit, more expensive haircut, shoulders broader with confidence he'd been building toward back then. But his eyes. God, those eyes were exactly the same. And right now, they were wide with absolute shock. "Jiho." My name came out strangled. My brain went blank. Static. White noise. "You're the regional director?" He took a step forward. I instinctively stepped back, putting the counter between us like it could protect me from the avalanche of emotions threatening to bury me alive. "I looked for you." His voice cracked. "After I came back from New York, you were just gone. Your phone disconnected. Your apartment empty. Even your parents wouldn't tell me where you went. You were married." The words came out flat. "Divorced." 6 months later. I couldn't. He ran a hand through his hair, and the familiar gesture nearly undid me. "Jiho, I've been searching for 3 years. Do you have any idea what it's been like? Not knowing if you were okay? If something happened to you? If you hated me so much you'd rather disappear than ever see me again?" 3 years. He'd been looking for 3 years. I opened my mouth, unsure what would come out, when Jaiwoo's voice rang from the back office. "Appa, can I have more juice?" Time stopped. Miho's eyes went impossibly wider. "You have a..." "Appa." Mr. Rex fell down. I watched the realization dawn across his face. Watched him do the math. Pregnancy takes 9 months. Jaiwoo called me Appa. That voice sounded young. "Jiho." His voice dropped to barely a whisper. "How old?" I lifted my chin, met his gaze directly. Steady. Even though everything inside me was screaming. 4.5. All color drained from his face. "I have a child?" Before I could answer, before I could explain or defend or do anything, Jaiwoo appeared in the doorway. Fever-flushed cheeks. Messy dark hair sticking up. Clutching Mr. Rex in one hand and rubbing his eyes with the other. wearing his favorite dinosaur pajamas because I'd let him stay comfortable. And those eyes. Unmistakably Miho's eyes staring out from our son's face. Miho made a sound like he'd been punched. Then he dropped to his knees right there on my bakery floor. "He has my eyes," he whispered. Jaiwo looked at me, confused. "Appa? Why is that man on the floor? Go back to your cartoon, baby. I'll bring juice in a minute." "But..." "Now, Jaiwo." Something in my tone made him obey. He shuffled back to the office, casting curious glances over his shoulder. The moment he disappeared, Miho stood. His hands were shaking. "You hid my son from me for 4.5 years. You hid from me first." My voice came out sharper than intended. "You left a note and married someone else." I explained why I couldn't reach out. "But a child." His voice rose. "How could you? How could I what?" I stepped around the counter, anger finally breaking through the shock. "Show up at your wedding with a positive pregnancy test? Ruin your important business deal in New York? Become the scandal that destroyed your family's reputation? You think I cared about any of that more than you?" He gestured wildly. "More than him. You made your choice that night. The note made it clear. I made the wrong choice. I realized it 6 months into that disaster of a marriage. I came back for you, Jiho. I've been looking." His voice broke. "I have a son. I have a son and I've missed everything." The pain in his voice cracked something in my chest. "His name is Jaiwo," I said quietly. "He loves dinosaurs. Especially T-Rex. He's smart and funny and so full of joy it hurts sometimes. He asks about his other parents sometimes. I told him you didn't know about him. That if you did, you'd be here." "I would have." Tears streaked down Miho's face. "I would have been there for everything. I know that now. Can I?" He looked toward the back office like it held everything he'd ever wanted. "Can I meet him? Properly?" I should have said no. Should have protected Jaiwo from the complication. Should have sent Miho away to process this bomb I just dropped on his life. Instead, I nodded. But slowly. "He doesn't know who you are yet." "Okay." Miho wiped his face. "Whatever you want. Just please. Let me know my son." 3 weeks of Miho appearing everywhere. Every morning before I opened the bakery, he'd be there with coffee, mine with 2 sugars, his black. Every afternoon at the park, he'd show up with a book or toy, sitting on a nearby bench, just watching Jaiwo play. Every evening, I'd find him outside our apartment building, waiting. "You're being creepy," I told him on day 5. "I'm being present." He handed me the coffee. I missed 4.5 years. I won't miss another day. The worst part? Jaiwo noticed. "Appa, why does that sad man keep watching us?" I nearly dropped the plate I was washing. "What sad man, baby?" "The one at the park. And outside our building." He looks at me like he lost something. Jaiwo tilted his head, considering. "You always say we should help lost people. Maybe we should help him." Out of the mouths of children. That night, I called Miho. "You can visit." Supervised. 1 hour, 3 times a week. His sharp intake of breath spoke volumes. "Thank you." "Jiho, thank you." "Rules. You don't tell him who you are yet. You're just a friend. When he's ready, we'll explain together. Whatever you want." The first visit, Miho brought a dinosaur encyclopedia. Jaiwo's eyes went wide. "You like dinosaurs too?" My son's voice pitched high with excitement. "I'm learning." Miho sat cross-legged on our living room floor, and something about seeing him there, in our space with our son, made my chest tight. "Which one's your favorite?" "T-Rex. Obviously. He's the king." "Obviously." Miho grinned, and there it was, that real smile I hadn't seen in 5 years. "Can you tell me about him?" For the next hour, Jaiwo talked nonstop. Miho listened with rapt attention, asking questions, praising insights, acting like dinosaur facts were the most important information in the universe. When the hour ended, Jaiwo hugged Miho's leg. "Will you come back? If your Appa says it's okay." "He will. He's nice like that." Jaiwo beamed up at me. "Right, Appa?" "Right?" I managed around the lump in my throat. After Jaiwo went to bed, Miho lingered at the door. "He's incredible. The way his mind works, his curiosity, his kindness. Jiho, you raised an amazing human." I did my best. Your best created perfection. He hesitated. Can I ask something? Why, Appa? It's usually for fathers, not single parents who did everything alone. I crossed my arms. Because I am his father and his mother. Because he needed a parent who was present, and I was all he had. Because... Hey! Miho's hand on my arm stopped me. I wasn't criticizing. I was wondering. And for what it's worth, you're the best parent I've ever seen. I hated how much those words affected me. The visits continued. Miho taught Jaiwoo to build elaborate block towers. They drew pictures together, Jaiwoo's enthusiastic scribbles next to Miho's surprisingly decent sketches. They sang off-key songs that made Jaiwoo giggle until he couldn't breathe. I watched from the kitchen, pretending to work while my heart cracked and healed simultaneously. He's good with him, my neighbor Halmoni said one evening. She'd become our unofficial grandmother. That's the father? Yes. Took him long enough to show up. It's complicated. It always is. She patted my hand. But that man looks at you both like you hung the moon. Don't punish him forever for being stupid once. Week 4, everything exploded. I was decorating a custom cake when the bakery door flew open. A woman in a designer suit and ice-cold expression swept in. Miho's mother. So you're the one. She looked me up and down like I was something stuck to her shoe. The gold digger who trapped my son with a bastard child. Every muscle in my body went rigid. Get out. How much? She pulled out a checkbook. Name your price to disappear again. Take the child and go. My son has a reputation to maintain, a company to run. He doesn't need the scandal of an illegitimate. Careful. My voice came out deadly quiet. Finish that sentence and I'll remove you myself. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Neither do you. Miho appeared like a storm, positioning himself between us. Mother. Now. She's using you. Can't you see this is all calculated? She disappeared, had the child, waited for you to be successful, then... Enough. Miho's voice shook the windows. I have a son. His name is Jaiwoo. He is brilliant and kind and the best thing I never knew I needed. And if you ever call him that word again, you'll never see either of us. Are we clear? His mother's face went white. You can't mean. Try me. Jiho carried my child alone. Raised him alone. Built a life from nothing while I was playing corporate puppet. She didn't trap me. She protected him from people exactly like you. I'm your mother. Then act like it. Apologize or leave. She left. No apology. Just threats about lawyers and custody and destroying my business. After she was gone, I realized I was shaking. I'm sorry. Miho pulled me into his arms. I'm so sorry you had to face everything alone. I'm sorry my family is. Don't apologize for things you can't control. Then let me control what I can. He tilted my face up, thumbs brushing away tears I didn't realize I'd cried. Let me be here. Not just for Jaiwoo. For you. Let me. There is no us, Miho. But my voice wavered. Liar. His thumb traced my cheekbone. There's always been an us. I was just too afraid to fight for it before. But I'm not afraid anymore. What if you leave again? I won't. You don't know that. Then let me prove it. Every single day. Let me prove I'm staying. Before I could answer, Jaiwoo's voice called from the back. Appa, is Mr. Miho staying for dinner? I want to show him my new drawing. Miho smiled. Can Mr. Miho stay? I should have said no. Yes, I whispered. He can stay. Jaiwoo's 5th birthday arrived on a perfect autumn morning. I'd been planning for weeks. Dinosaur decorations, a cake shaped like a T-Rex, games for the preschool friends he'd invited. Small and simple, exactly how we'd always done birthdays. Then Miho showed up at 7 a.m. with a truck. Please don't tell me that's what I think it is, I said, watching workers unload pieces of an elaborate wooden playground set. It's for the courtyard. The building owner approved it. All the kids can use it, but... He rubbed the back of his neck sheepishly. I may have designed it with Jaiwoo's height in mind. Miho, that's too much. Nothing's too much for him. His eyes met mine. For either of you. By noon, the courtyard had transformed. The playground stood gleaming in the sunlight, swings, a slide, monkey bars, and a climbing wall with dinosaur footholds. Jaiwoo screamed when he saw it. Appa! Appa, look! He grabbed my hand and Miho's, pulling us both toward it. Can I try it? Please? After the party, birthday boy. The celebration was perfect. Jaiwoo glowed with happiness, surrounded by friends and laughter. I snapped photos constantly, him blowing out candles, opening presents, his chocolate-covered smile. But the picture that made my breath catch was candid. Jaiwoo with his arms wrapped around Miho's neck, both of them laughing at something ridiculous, foreheads pressed together. This is what I stole from them, I thought. Years of this. After the guests left and Jaiwoo was playing with his new dinosaur toys, Miho pulled an envelope from his jacket. What's this? Documents. Paternity acknowledgement, birth certificate revision, and... He hesitated. A proposal. My heart stopped. Proposal? Not that kind. Not yet, anyway. His smile was soft, hopeful. I want joint custody. Official. Legal. I want Jaiwoo to have my name if you'll allow it. I want to set up his college fund, his healthcare, everything. I want Saturday mornings and bedtime stories. I want to teach him to ride a bike and be there for his first day of school and embarrass him in front of his first crush. I want everything I missed and everything's still coming. Tears blurred my vision. And what about us? I want that too. He took my hands. But I know I have to earn it. I'm not asking you to love me again, Jiho. I'm asking for the chance to prove I never stopped loving you. You hurt me. I know. You left when I needed you most. I know. And I'll spend the rest of my life making up for it if you'll let me. Appa! Jaiwoo crashed into my legs. Why are you crying? Is Mr. Miho making you sad? I laughed through tears. No, baby. He's making me remember what happy feels like. Then you should keep him. Like we kept the stray cat. Miho burst out laughing. Did he just compare me to a stray cat? If the comparison fits. Over the next 6 months, we rebuilt what had shattered. Slowly, carefully, like assembling something precious from broken pieces. Miho moved into an apartment 3 floors down. Close enough to be present, far enough to give us space. We established routines. He took Jaiwoo to preschool 3 days a week. We had family dinners every Tuesday and Thursday. We attended parent-teacher conferences together, went to the park on Saturdays, read bedtime stories in shifts. His mother eventually came around after Jaiwoo, with the brutal honesty of children, told her, "You were mean to my Appa. That makes you mean to me. I don't like mean people." Nothing changes a grandmother's heart faster than her grandson's disappointment. She apologized stiffly at first, then more genuinely when she saw how happy Jaiwoo was. How loved. I was wrong, she admitted one afternoon, watching Jaiwoo and Miho build a blanket fort. About everything. He's a remarkable child. And you? She looked at me. You raised him well. Alone. I respect that, even if I hate how it happened. It wasn't friendship, but it was peace. One evening in early spring, I found Miho on my balcony. The same kind of night as 5 years ago, cool air, distant stars, 2 people standing at the edge of something. Penny for your thoughts? I joined him at the railing. Just thinking about how different things could have been. If I'd been braver that night. If I'd fought for us instead of running. We can't change the past. No. But we can choose our future. He turned to me, and the intensity in his eyes made my breath catch. I'm scared, Jiho. Of what? That this is all I get. That you'll never trust me enough to let me all the way back in. That I've permanently broken what we had. You're already all the way in, I admitted quietly. You have been for months. That's what scares me. Why does it scare you? Because what if it's temporary? What if you realize we're too complicated, too damaged? What if you leave again? He cupped my face with both hands. The only mistake I made 5 years ago was walking away. I won't make it again. You're stuck with me, Jiho. You and Jaiwoo both. Promise. I promise. And this time, I'm not writing a note and disappearing. This time, I'm staying. This time, I'm fighting for us every single day. When he kissed me, it didn't taste like goodbye. It tasted like coming home. Like every moment we'd lost and every moment we'd found. Like second chances and new beginnings. Gross. Jaiwoo's voice came from behind the glass door. You're kissing. That's so yucky. We broke apart, laughing. Does this mean Mr. Miho can be my real Appa now? Jaiwu pressed his face against the glass, eyes bright with hope. Miho looked at me, question clear in his expression. I looked at my son's eager face, at this man who'd found his way back to us, at the life we'd carefully built from broken pieces. Yeah, I whispered, pulling them both close. He can be your real Appa. Some secrets are meant to be kept. Others are meant to be discovered. And some, like the love between us, were always meant to survive.